Namaste everyone and welcome to my vlog. I am Akshat and 46 is the wonder number. That's the number that our much wanted Indian cricket team managed to achieve in the first test against New Zealand in the first innings, and five ducks, imagine that, including of course Virat Kohli, King Kohli as he's called by us, the Indian cricket fans, who are not long suffering because we did win the T20 World Cup, after which a few stalwarts, Kohli and Sharma included, retired from T20, the shortest form of the game. But I will say that where does this crazy crazy fan following of the Indian cricket team come from? And let me tell you this, India does not have a national sport. So maybe cricket should be declared the national sport. There was a long standing myth or a commonly held belief that hockey was our national sport, but that's only because of the long gone glory days of Major Dhyan Chand and his team, in which we managed to get Olympic golds. And since then, we have been in the top ranked teams in the world, but unfortunately, we have not really won, world level events very consistently. Nevertheless, let's get back to talking about the Indian cricket team, because the less said about the Indian football team, the better. We have continued to slip past the 100 mark in the world rankings, and despite being the most populous nation on earth, that's right, in case you did not know, we are now more populous than China, who of course are suffering from some serious setbacks on the population pyramid issues because of their one family, one child policy, which was implemented a few decades ago, I guess. Nevertheless, India, nowhere in the football rankings and struggling to be at the top of the hockey rankings, but consistently reaching World Test Championship finals back to back, even though we lost, but that's all right. There has to be a winner and a loser, uh, you know, because the championship demands a result. There can't be any draws in that last one off final test. So we did win, like I said, the T20 World Cup, and even in the One Day World Cup, we came to the final and lost. So that's all right. Good performances are, of course, rewarded not just monetarily but also with crazy, like I said, fan followings. But where does my Indian cricket memory begin? I think it's in 1996, a World Cup that was being held in our subcontinent. Yeah, because I think 99 World Cup was in England. So it was the 96 World Cup. I think we were playing against Sri Lanka or something. Rana Tunga and Jay Surya come to mind. So I guess that is the time around which I started watching cricket, because TV was a rarity for us at the Lawrence School Sanar, and there were only a few times when TV sets were allowed to be kept on, longer than the scheduled hours. And I think World Cup matches were a few of those times. And yeah, I guess since then I have been consistently, if not playing cricket, then at least following the Indian cricket team, and of course berating them when they don't perform well and applauding them when they do, which is the natural course of events for sports fans. When your team is doing well, you are all up for banter and for putting down other teams, and when your team is not doing well, you blame the coach, the players, the support staff, the ground, the environment, nature, God for your team's losses. But it does not change the fact that those players out there are at the peak of the game, and what you do or say at home about them or to them uh, through the universe does not make even an iota of a difference, thousands of kilometers away or hundreds of kilometers away if they are playing very near you, or even a few meters away if you are in the stadium and watching live matches. Of course, the entertainment value goes up for the shorter formats of the game, hence the IPL, of course, and it's so many domestic versions and smaller events, tournaments, local tournaments, people getting off their corporate job in the evening and going to a rented field, which are coming up by the dozen in my surrounding areas in Noida, in the greater Noida area, in the national capital region of India, and elsewhere, of course. So I think cricket and its popularity can be attributed a lot to how easy it is to play. All you need is something to hit a round object with. It doesn't have to be. I mean, I remember playing with scrunched up paper with sellotape wrapped around it, and register or hardcover books as bats. And then gully cricket, of course. Gully cricket is just bricks as wickets, or for that matter, even air as wickets, because you trust the umpire's judgment, and there are lots of fights. And मैं अपना बैट लेके घर जा रहा हूँ, मैं अपना बॉल लेके घर जा रहा हूँ. Scenarios that we must have encountered, at least 80s and 90s kids must have encountered. These days, most even cricket crazy kids are used to nets and proper equipment and coaching, which is good, I think, because at the grassroots level, if our kids are allowed to develop their potential and given proper training, then of course they can become Dhoni's, who was actually a football goalkeeper before he was advised by his coach to try his hands at cricket. And look where he took the Indian cricket team. And then there is, of course, innate natural ability like Sachin Tendulkar, which just needs to be identified and nurtured and given the opportunity to showcase our nation on the world, on the global platform. Speaking about the global platform, the Olympics, every year we sort of kind of increase our participation and our medal tally, but again, for the world's most populous nation, I don't think that a handful of medals is good enough. So I just have positive thoughts and high hopes, like Pink Floyd sang, for the future, for the upcoming generation, which includes my baby daughter Advitya, that they will have better resources, better training, better opportunities to showcase their abilities and to hone their natural talents to the point where they can beat the best of the world and bring glory to the nation. And I just follow 6Rsm, but that's a bit of a digression, bit of a random digression even for me, because if you've seen my other videos, you know that I digress a lot, which is what I do while traveling and thinking, which is covered in my book, A Life Afloat. And I love technology, space exploration, science, which are covered in my book, And Android Awoke on Moon. So that's science fiction in my second book, and travel and philosophy in my first book. You can check them out on Amazon. The links are in the description. And self-promotion aside, I do reviews of mostly Marvel shows, but also all sorts of OTT shows, including one that I'll be doing for Raat Jawan Hai, which is based on three new parents. One of them has a 4-5-year-old daughter, one of them has a couple of years old kid, and one of them has a sort of toddler. So I did watch that show in a sort of meal time binge, as we generally do, and I will have some choice comments to make about that. So alright, as usual, coming up on the 10-minute mark, I would just like to say that Indian sports is on the way up, but there is a long way to go still for most sports. On the other hand, the Indian cricket team is at the top, but sometimes they just capitulate like a deck of cards, a house of cards, sorry, because a deck of cards is really solid. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and check out my other videos. I just vlog for fun, and I do cover my travels in my vlogs as well, in shorts and long form. So have fun, check it out, and namaste once again. I'm Akshat from India.